Good morning, my family. How are you doing? I am grateful for the awareness of this life. And the sense of gratitude comes from the soul that provides the well being of our experience. When human being accounting numbers, I am talking to about 9,000 or more human beings. But when you are an awakened being, an infinite being, you know that you are talking to the infinite universe. I love this life. My name is Asafwache Yeboah, and I'm talking from Liberia, Old Road, and on the fifth floor, the rooftop of the Awa building. I live right beneath this floor, the fourth floor, and this is my area, the quiet place. I normally sit to have a dialogue, to have a conversation with the divine within me. This has really I call this experience the wilderness experience, where nothing is happening, everything is happening, and you just falling in love with that loneliness, that quietness, that silence, that loving of the self. Once again, I say thank you very much for listening to this message. This is what I do some Saturdays, Sundays, and some holidays. I just share with you out there. And I love it so much. The topic for the day is what is God? We may not say who is God because God has no gender. What is God? And have in mind, I'm on a certain path that disregard religion and pay so much attention to spirituality. Spirituality is what religion has hijacked to write its own program to deceive the masses, to take the attention from the original self to what is not a lie. That's not what we want to talk about. I just want you to be aware that and this is the path I'm on. It's called the naturalness. It came and I found myself there. Okay, and I would also suggest if you would just feel like you came into this world and we have met for the first time and you don't know anything about any religion, there's no belief system, but you can understand me and I can understand you, and just listen to me with your soul. Well, because your soul knows nothing about your attachments. Your attachment to this life has brought suffering, and the soul doesn't know what you're talking about. That suffering we talk about, it's just a human experience. So let's take it from the soul. What the soul is saying, allow the soul to listen. So this is where we've gotten to. Pretend you are not a religious person. Just listen to me with your soul. Thank you very much. Yeah, the topic is what is God? What is God? This question has been asked several times, and then I've seen a lot of videos that has really pay attention to this question, and everybody tried to explain from their understanding what is God. And if you move on the streets right now to ask 10 people what is God, you'll be surprised what you hear. You realize that we don't have the same awareness regarding God. When we talk about God, the understanding, what we know about God is it differs among individuals. It's serious, and that's what religion has achieved. Seriously, that's what religion has achieved. If the soul pay attention to what comes from nature, what comes from the universe, what the programming of our subconscious mind is nature, then we all have the same perception. You understand? But it's not so, because we have to be taught the ways of God. But we are born as the ways of God. We are the ways of God. I don't think any human has control over the sky. We're talking about when it should rain, about the seasons. No, yes, nobody, no human being get control over the energy in the sea, creating the waves going up and down. That nobody gets power over the sun as to reduce its intensity when it comes to heat or cold, or to reduce the heat of this. No. Nobody controls the warmth that comes from the sun. The warmth comes from the love of the sun onto this earth. Nobody controls it. And there is a part of it that nobody can control. Just as the sun, just as the season, just as the trees. It's a part of you that nobody can control. I mean, I'm talking extent that nobody can control. It is the intelligence itself. Can you tell me that from your external world you have control over your organs within you? The intelligence is coded in your DNA and is just functioning the way nature knows. Coming back to what is God again. God is the law. I'm not talking about human laws. I'm talking about the laws of nature, the universal laws. Those laws were part of creation. Out of that law, creation emerged. God is the law. That law has been there before the first civilization emerges. That law has been there as the being itself. God is the source energy. And the source energy and the laws of nature, the universal laws, are the same. The source energy is the breath of God, the life of God. But what we call God, how do the other religious people call it? We have the Islamic religion calling it Allah. We have the traditional religion from where I'm coming from speaking my mother tongue, is called Nyungbo. The meaning is the visitor of the dawn. The Evers have a name for it. When you go to China, they have a name for it. I think the name God is an European version of it. That's what they have created for us. But what is the intelligence that controls your organ, which is the same intelligence that controls the entire cosmos, the entire universe. So God is the source energy. Let me make it personal. God is the life force within you. What humans call a soul. Okay, let me break it down. When you fetch a drop of water to the beach and you drop it in the ocean, and you fetch a drop of the ocean to the house, to your house, what do you have? You have a drop of the seawater at home. But we don't call it a drop of ocean because you fetch a drop of it. We call it an ocean in a drop. Because the vast, what's the content when it comes to composition, what the ocean contains as properties to make it an ocean Considering the vastness, the quantity, and that of the drop is the same. The salt content of an ocean in the drop, which you call a drop of ocean, and that of the entire ocean is the same. The only difference between an ocean in the drop, which you call a drop of ocean, and the ocean itself is the vastness. That is you and God. You get me? When you drop, when your body drops and your soul comes out, your energy comes out, you can't differentiate you and the vastness. It's like a drop of water being sent to the beach and it's being dropped in the ocean. Can you separate it? Yes. That's why in the old test, the ancient test, it is written that a question was asked that, don't you know that you are gods? The five elements of nature compared to the five elements of your physical structure, your biology, are the same. And the energy that controls all this for life to be present on earth is what we call God. So God is what we call life. To me, my breath is God. My breath is God. Because without my breath, what's going to happen is my biological structure will not survive, will not be able to clothe me, will not be able to contain me. My temple, without my breath, the breathing in into God and out into God, or out breathing in into God and out into God, will not be able to be there, and that is going to drop my biological structure, my body. So if I call the breeze, the air I breathe, as God, to me, that is God. But that God is bigger than what we have been taught God is. So let's be in alignment. This is coming straight from my soul. I never sat in the classroom to be taught the ways of life. It started 2015 when I had a chronic stress, and then I have to go for some practices to be able to have that resolved. It's I registered for, attended a seminar first for transcendental meditation, and I think the stress got to a level that I have to do anything at all. So let me drop whatever I know and let me experience what they're talking about. Transcendental meditation. My teacher name is called Chris. It's a wonderful master. Just straightforward man. There's no hidden secret to it. It's just everything was natural. Just the way I'm observing the tree. Something like that. And one of the benefits is to become what I've become. Consciousness, awareness is one of the benefits. But I think I have fallen in love deeply with this experience. So it has gotten me hooked to meditation. And it has entirely detached me from my past and my future. It has brought me to the very presence of the now. The very moment that I'm talking is what my awareness is telling me. What will come tomorrow, I don't know. What has passed was human experience that I cannot dwell on. Good memories may come to serve as a fuel to move forward. But I don't dwell on. I dwell in the very moment. And people thinking I'm hiding behind something. But that's not what we talk about. I'm talking about the awareness that has hit me and brought a transformation into my life. And that awareness is called God. That consciousness is called God. So God is an awareness. God is consciousness. God is not human understanding. God is not the interpretation of God that religion gives. God is one that has been trapped in a lot of entities. The trees are just bearing very, very fresh green leaves. The energy that controls it is called God. Some are bearing flowers. I have a lot of mango trees around me. Some are bearing flowers. The energy that is involved in this process is called God. Very soon, I will see a lot of fruits, and that is God. There is one element of nature called heat, which comes from the sun that assists in the process. What we call photosynthesis, the formation of the fruits, is the sun. The sweetness of the fruits is the heat of the sun that goes to the earth, and the biology, the biological structure of the tree itself. That energy that controls the vegetational season is called God. You know, sometimes when you are at the beach, the sea, the ocean itself will go back and come forward. There are times that the entire beach will be stony, rocks will be coming, the sun will be going back deep into the sea, and the rocks will be. There are times that the sun will come and cover the rocks. The energy, the power, the force that controls these elements, this rotation, this cycle of events in the ocean is God. What I am saying is the truth, and that is God. Because I don't have personal human expectation or interest to achieve telling you what I'm telling you, but from, or what will I put it? It only comes from love. Love is doing what I'm doing. You may say, if you know love, then go and do the proper thing. What you call the proper thing? What is this? As I said, I have detached myself from my past. That doesn't mean I don't have feeling for humans, but I've seen a lot of things in my past as human concepts that are practiced. The idea and the lack of knowledge, the lack of understanding, as I was living in that humanist state of being. I only know what I'm doing, my understanding about God, and the path I'm traveling on as a truth. If it's not truth, I shouldn't be so peaceful as this. If it is not the truth, I shouldn't be so joyful. Happiness is humanness. Joyfulness, blissfulness shouldn't be my experience. If it is not the truth, I should live in the constant chaos within me. But this is what I become, and I say, this is God. Life itself is God. Did you know that life is a game? And we have a godly game and a worldly game? Pay attention to this. Nature, existence is a game. And the laws or the rules are the universal laws. Just being in alignment with the universe, that vibrates on the same frequency as the universe. And you flow along with the game. There's no winning, there's no losing. There's an awareness. That's the law of nature. That's a godly game. It's not a game as human being knows. I use the word game so that you know that they are disrespecting some of the laws may bring you suffering. And respecting all the laws will make you bear the fruits of the spirit. And the energy we're talking about here is what we call God. Sometimes when I think about life, let me talk about other game. The other game apart from the game of nature or nature's game, which of course you have to be in perpetual alignment with the frequency that the universe vibrates. You must be on the same frequency to be able to be in the nature's game, or be I don't want to use the word winning, but be at ease and flow. Just like we don't know where the wind is blowing from, and we don't know where it's going. Just like that. You're not here to think. You're not here to do. You are here to be your beingness. So the other game is a concept developed by man to divert man's attention from the naturalness to serve its interest. So instead of using my natural intelligence, I have to sit in the classroom for 26 years or more for my memory to be tested, come up from the classroom, and also to be awarded a recognition. To be awarded a recognition, people have to know that you have a PhD, your master's, and your degree, whatever thing, and for you for your head to blow up, forgetting that it's only your memory that was tested. And testing your memory to pass, to get to that level in life, they tell you that success has programmed you to become a slave to the system. When I say this, people say, what? But that's the truth. It's a program written, and that program started as an idea. The idea doesn't serve love. The idea does not, it doesn't know what love is. It's just an interest of the person that developed the idea, program it, and now the entire human race is moving towards that direction. That's also a game. That's a worldly game. The nature's game is the love that the Son gives, for a reason that it always comes to give us warmth. The Son is following the laws of nature to be itself. But the warmth is not for the Son to enjoy, it's for you and I, the earth, Mother Earth, to enjoy. That is God as well. And the game goes on. The game you are playing and the game that the Son is playing is the same. The law is love. The Son gives because he loves. You must give because you love. And that's the game. When it comes to the worldly concepts, I mean the other game, the other program, the other idea, the other agenda, that serve human interest, when you come to that, as I said, interest, and interest does not serve love. Human interest doesn't serve love. We're talking about the absence of love, considering what classroom education, the Western philosophy to brainwash humans is. And then it has, because it's not serving love, it has really filled the entire world. There's no peace in the world. Naturalness is peaceful, very peaceful. You experience it yourself. You know that's it. When you practice meditation for the first time, when you experience a second in the moment or a moment in the second, and you are being asked to tell of your experience, the first word that will come from your lips is, I feel very peaceful. That's what I can say 90% of people that experience meditation for the first time will tell you. That's my, if you really, maybe the 10% will be for those that never had experience. So the experience of what is peaceful is God. These two games that are playing, when you become aware, just the way, considering where the path I'm on, you will see the trick, you will see the scam, you will see the lie, you will see clear, you will see clear. You realize that human beings are not human beings, that they are just humans made by men. You know, a program can turn you into an animal, and you can eat animal food and sleep while animal sleep. Yes. They have to target you right the moment you came out from your mother's womb. They give you a name, they label you, and they give you a certificate that you are born, you come to the world. So this is a document that shows the date that you are born. Who told you that there's what you call time? There's nothing like time. Calendar was created as part of the programming, as part of the agenda. Calendar was created. Do you know how many lifetimes you've experienced? You have no idea. And there is the programming. The purpose of the program is to make you not aware of the truth, but be aware of the lie as the truth, and that's the game. Research to know how many people are in the elite group that rules the world. If the whole world knows that this world is ruled by a group of people, that can be counted. We will start to be our beingness, straightforward. And the experience of the beingness is joyful. It's very addictive. That joy, that bliss, that peace, that love is very, very addictive. So you never stop what you do to fall into the kingdom of God within you. You never stop. What is God that brought us this far? And I am talking like the way I'm doing because I have no control over the wind, where it's coming from and where it's going. And you think I have a control over these words? It is time for my soul to speak. You are hearing my voice. But if you know me just about 5 years ago, you will realize that there's something good or there's something bad, depending on how well and deep you have been programmed. But this is a beautiful life I have ever experienced. This is a very beautiful life. So if this is what they have described to be hell, what's a deception? You will know how sweet love is. Not because you are falling in love with somebody, but because you fall in love with your own self. Without knowing, experiencing that love for yourself, you can never love another being, because that being you don't know. But love must connect the two of you. And that love is what you call God. And it is your soul. Every human being on this planet, we all have the same soul, trapped in individual bodies. On the path I'm on, we don't consider the individual bodies. We consider the one soul that I am, that you are, that she is, that it is, that it is. And that soul is intelligence that is in charge of the universe, which is found in a universal law. Without knowing that law to apply, you will never know what is love. Love can never be applied. Good can never be applied. Peace can never be applied by humans. It is the soul that lives its life. The beingness of the soul is love, manifesting into life through a human, making that human become a human being. Can you call a dead body a human being? You call it a human body. So what makes it a human being? Is the being we call the soul, which is the ocean in a drop. As I use that analogy to describe or to give you an idea about what God is that you are. Life is beautiful. There were times that I have to respond. What triggers me? What triggers my emotions? But now I see my soul, or from the soul perspective, it's human experience. So it passes just as the wind carry it along. So humans will be expecting me to act in a certain way that in my world, that certain way doesn't exist. Everything is mental. But if you know my experience about life and the meaning and understanding that I've gotten so far, the infinite intelligence is aware. And that infinite intelligence is what we call God. Just as the universe, nature, what we call God, is in charge of the seasons of life. That's the leaves are turning green, not turning green, but new shoots of green leaves are coming. The trees bearing flowers, and fruits will soon come. The energy, the law, the power, the force that controls that, the same as my soul. I think this is the real me, my authentic self, not to the very ceiling, to the very top, but whichever way it is infinite, not from the ego ways of thinking. Infinite. That does not mean I don't make mistakes. That does not mean I don't interact with human beings. But I see the world now as a stage, a theater stage, that we are all acting. And everybody is playing a character. Some are wearing a mask. Some are of the authentic self. Authenticity does not last long. Can't be on this earth for a long time. The truth. Some are for the truth and their human experience as they come here to be their beingness. That tree is cut because the world does it's against the program. That is their antivirus. Sorry, that is their virus. That's what they think. You are against the system. You are putting up the idea. You are putting up a truth is a virus to a lie. A truth is a virus to a concept that human being has created. A truth is a virus to it. But we don't see it so. We see it as an antivirus to their system. To heal this world, naturalness is the way to go. So naturalness is the antivirus for this system. Naturalness. This is life. Have you ever had a conversation with yourself before? With your soul before? With God before? Everybody do. We all do. We all do. Either you are in the program, their program, or you are in the nature's game, nature's program. Your soul will always talk, but your hearing has been blocked by their concepts, the Western philosophy, the programming. And this program has been updated several times. Several times. Nature's program, nature's awareness, nature's consciousness, nature's life. It's one. You can't take it from it, and you can't put anything in it. But whatever you would do is nature's way. Whatever you would think is nature's way. Life become positive. It is from one of this conversation with the divine within me, the visitation of the kingdom of God within me, that I infinitely dwell. I had this dialogue, and it came to pass. I had the message or the teaching to the teaching to dissolve negativity, if I have to put it like that, to turn to for negativity, negative thoughts to disconnect their friendship from you. Worry that comes from created complications, circumstances, issues that you think need solutions will not be there anymore, because it shall be seen from the nature's way. And since everything is mental, whatever you have to say, I'm sorry, whatever you have to forgive somebody or somebody have to forgive you, you create that experience. And it is because your subconscious mind that is responsible for manifestations doesn't know what is real and what is unreal. Everything is an energy to it, and everything manifests. Life is beautiful when the ways of the naturalness is your experience. I'm not creating any new thing. The universe is announcing itself through me. That is all. That is all. That is all. The universe is announcing itself through me, and that is all. As the wind comes from nowhere that we have never known and going to nowhere that we have never known, so is this experience. Life is not as we know it to be. And the naturalness on earth here, this experience on earth here, is not the ultimate. The ultimate is when you have gone through the portal of life, death. To be one with the emptiness and nothingness. To be one with what you called to be one with what you called the Almighty. There are so many names, but your experience shall give you a name. There are so many names that humans call it, but your experience shall give you a name. And their name is what you know. And that what you know is your soul. This is a beautiful awareness. On the path of naturalness, there's no fear. Seriously. There's no fear. There's no worry. Some things, sparks of worry can come once in a while. But because you have been taught the way to dissolve negative thoughts, they plead to be present. Negative thoughts literally beg you to come to the fore. But they can't come to the fore because you have been taught a way to dissolve it. Let me make it easy for you. Maybe it's sharp. It's not part of the. It's not what we're talking about. What is God? But let me make it easy for you. Or maybe I have to do that some other time. Okay, easy for you. You can't stop thoughts from coming into your head, and you can't stop creating of thoughts from within you. You understand? But mind you, your soul can never generate bad thoughts. Every thought is an energy, and when it goes, it comes back to the very source of it. So bad thoughts will surely affect you. Good thoughts, but we have been programmed until we don't know what bad thought is and what good thoughts may be. We might have an idea, but the program is deep within our fiber, the human fiber. That's some. I was once there, and a whole day bad thoughts to be streaming through your head, and you don't even know what you are doing to yourself. That you are planting a seed of disaster. And I've been taught how to dissolve it. Words are thoughts unspoken. So thoughts are words unspoken. Thoughts are words unspoken. Words are thoughts spoken. So I treat thoughts as a person, as an entity. When a thought comes, because of the ways of the naturalness, you don't just allow it to go. This is done in the real time. You don't allow it to go. If it's a good thought, it's automatic, it streams. But with a bad thought, it's all hot. It's done unconsciously. You ask a question, what good have you come to serve me? The content of the thoughts has occurred before, and the experience was suffering. And I am not suffering. And you have to confess what you are. I am joyful, I am peaceful, I am happy, I am excited, I am grateful for this life. All of a sudden, that thoughts of negativity will begin to go down. It's gone. It's that you become aware of the consequences if that thought manifests. And you being aware is what we call the truth has come to you. The thoughts. So you have to treat thoughts as an entity that you are talking to in your mind. The idea. And don't think all this thing is self-chattering. What the Bible calls it the tree of life. The story of the Garden of Eden. The tree of life. What the Bible calls it. It bears the fruits of knowledge of good and bears the fruits of the knowledge of evil. It doesn't do that by itself without an idea. So idea is what you call the snake, the serpent, the devil, Satan. The idea. Because that, according to the story, the idea brought destruction. The idea brought self-centeredness, selfishness, thinking about yourself alone, thinking about himself alone. That's what the idea brought. And the fruits of the knowledge of evil occurred. What shall be the fruit of knowledge of good? If you were there, it is the action. The action. This is just another way. So you can also do the same thing. Just that you don't need anybody that can do it. Anybody that it's not for you to be able to hurt the evil thought and dialogue with them and most of the time they don't talk. But you can have what you got. The thought of good is the conversation that you have with the divine within you. The thought of good. The conversation between you and the divine within you. The kingdom of God within man. That's experience. On the path of naturalness, there's nothing like recognition. And I love the teachings of Christ so well that if you think you are the leader, become the follower. If you are the master, become the servant, become the slave. If you are the ruler, become being ruled. There's nobody on top. There's nobody at the bottom. There's no undeserved and there's deserved. There's nothing like that. There is no black and white. There is no the supreme among humans. It is the soul. There is. What has been created is an awareness to take you from your naturalness to serve their interest. Life is so beautiful. This is God for you. God. The transformation power that brings a human to an experience of his natural beingness is God. So you may realize that this God thing we're talking about, it's your own experience that are called the truth. When you are dying, it's your experience of truth. When you are alive, it's your experience of truth. And when you are dying, in fact, when you are practicing death and you know the price of death as life, that's a pure lie, that a lie that you have become. What is death? Is the deep awareness of the program that you have become, that you trust and believe, and it has become you in any form. Love has become a lie to them. The love that brings about creativity among men to serve humanity has been trashed, and it is done by you swallowing the pill of the programming. The creative power of the enslaved one is small. When you are a slave, your creative power is small. It's just for you to be in your surrounding, your environment. Be born, go through the process that has been designed by the human concept, die and go, and you don't have any experience about the naturalness. Yet they talk about God. So you see now, they've taken the lie, they tell you that that lie is God. How can a lie be truth? And you've been in this lie for so many years, and you are the teacher of that lie, and you are sick, and that God cannot save you. I can teach you a lying position when it comes to stretching, and you never get sick. You never swallow medicine. They have created the pharmaceutical industry. They have created the health industry. I don't know whether the two are the same. You think you know the reason why? It's to serve their interest, profit gain. For them, yeah, this word is the kingdom of heaven. I mean, yeah, for them, here is their heaven. They believe in the physical experiences, but life is beyond that. The kingdom of God, my heaven is within me. My heaven is right now, right now, right now. That I'm on the big stage, the big stage of the theater of the world. That is my turn to for my character to be experienced by those that are listening to me now. And I've taken the opportunity as I've taken the event as an opportunity for me to be natural. So my naturalness has become my character that you are hearing. I don't believe I'm telling you a lie or I'm saying something to brainwash you for my interest. No, I'm just being natural. This is me. This is what I have become. When I die, 2015, I wake up and in a different days. It's been from 2015 November till now. When you die, you wake up. I mentioned death somewhere. I said death is the portal through which we enter into life. And if you know what is death, you will have appetite to die. If you know what is death, you will have appetite to die. You will have appetite to die if you know what is death. I was looking at the time. If you know what is death, you will have appetite for death. You desire it. You have no idea. The content of their human concept tells you that you must fear death. They've created death, the concept of death, to put fear into you. But there's nothing like death. It's just the dimension that changes. And it's like a drop of water being dropped in the ocean. Just like that. A drop of water from the river drop into the ocean. That began the ocean. Yeah. There was a time in existence during the climatic era that not that they celebrate death, but they prepare for it. They prepare for it. There's a not celebration. There's a coming together to be with a dying person so he or she lives. So there's a traditional way of handling the whole thing. You are traveling for the last time on earth in that human body. At that time, the frequency of the body drops below what gives it energy, power to hold the soul. At that point, the soul lifts it. When the soul lifts it, it becomes lifeless. Talk about the body, become lifeless, which you call death. And the reason why you are afraid of death is because they told you in their literature, in their documents. I mean, as they were inventing that concept, the human concept, they created hell and heaven. So you have to submit. You have to be a slave to go to heaven. You have to be ignorant. You shouldn't have to practice. You have to practice their concept to go to heaven. Yes, their concept to go to heaven. And then when you don't practice their concept, you go to hell. So to them, I'm already in hell. But if this is how hell is, then they've lied the whole world. They have lied the whole world. Don't know what it feels as an emotional energy when your soul is reaching out to the entire humanity just by thinking a thought into existence. You know what it means as an emotional energy. I don't mention the name of it, but it feels good. Okay. The blissful experience. That is experience as the soul inspires your human or motivates your human activity, your human experience. Your action comes from a soul. The action is directed by your soul. You see beyond the lie. You see beyond the veil. In fact, there's no lie, there's no veil. You see through it and you see the suffering of humanity. What is God has brought us far? What is God has brought us far? But this life. Do you know what it means to manifest your own life, to model your own life, to create your own life, the way you want to experience life? And they tell you, you have to believe. Even though if there is no experience. Blessed are those who believe, yet they have not seen. They have to tell you that one, and you believe. You have to believe a lie, and just a plain lie that is not hidden. That's blessed are those who believe, yet they have not seen. And I tell you that out of experience, knowledge is born. So if I've not experienced and how to believe, what are you telling me? I have to believe, yet no experience. Okay, that's just by the way. That is not God. God is my experience. The truths about my experience. So I can't be experiencing God and be telling you a lie. And I can't be living a lie and telling about God. And that's what religion has done. Religion has created that for you. They're experiencing different things. That is purely from the humanness. It's a human thing, and they are telling you it is God. And that's brought confusion in the world. The absence of peace on this earth is religion. And you say that is the way to go. Don't you think that you must be part of that religion for it to be free? So if you say no, they'll wage war against you. Do you know the reason why there was war in Iraq? To change the regime, to practice the ways of the Christians. Not so much as their way of worship, but the ways of governance. Democracy. Do you know the reason why Gaddafi was killed? Do you know the reason why Mugabe is going through what is going through now? The whole country is suffering because of the president refusing their request, which is not going to serve them as the owners of the land, but serve different races from different continents, taking it by force and making themselves kings, and the natives become slaves and work for them on their own land. If you refuse that, you become an enemy to their system. If Mugabe were to be a young man like me, he should have been killed by now. And the people around him, they are controlling them. They are controlling them. So they are waiting for his death. When he dies, the country will go back to the whites. They created a system. They programmed the idea already. He's just lying down. They're waiting for his death. Not that when Mugabe dies, is that Mugabe is taking what belongs to him, is doing what he have to do for his people. The whole world knows. You can't go to China and go and take China land and say Chinese people have to work for you. You have to go through the proper system to acquire land, to do business there, to live there. But these people, they came to Africa, they took their land, and we became slaves to them. And now that one person has woken up, they say the person is an enemy to the system. They spare him. They spare his life on earth because he's old. That man will have died, but because of love for his country, regardless of his humanness, because of the love for his country, he always wants to live to help his people because he knows that when he's no more, I've said this, you may call it a prophecy. When Mugabe dies, those guys will go. The whole world will know. And this time they will go with force and power. They will go because the foundation, they created a foundation. The foundation is there already. So building upon it, I mean, going to continue with what it is easy. Yeah, it's easy. Africa here, the education in Zimbabwe was one of the best. So that's the system they created. So they're going to upgrade the system there. That's you only work for them. They'll go back and we know. Maybe I'll not be here. I'll tell my children to write it down when I'm no more. They know that my father said it. And we know, a lot of leaders know. In Africa here, our leaders sign a constitution that is developed by them. So they can't tell you the truth, but they tell you the truth, they will go, they will kill them. Anyway, that's not what we're talking about. But as part of the practice of naturalness, you become aware of all this, not because you've seen it somewhere, but it becomes obvious that human beings have been remolded into a being, an entity that believes in his or intellectual intelligence when it comes to what he has kept, the volume of information he has kept in his head and tested, and he's been told that he has been awarded recognition among men. I thank God for life. I'm grateful. I have to go now. We have spent 1 hour 08 minutes. Maybe you make it 1 hour 10 minutes. Okay. Life. Life, oh life. Life, oh Nawaho. Life, oh life. Life, oh Nawaho. Life is so beautiful. Life is so beautiful. Life is so beautiful. It's so beautiful. The experience is God. The experience is God. The experience is God. Is God. Is God. Thank you very much, my family. A week today we'll be meeting again, and a topic may come up. We share, but no, there'll be a time that is going to be, one to many. We will definitely jump onto one of their platforms, and then you'll be online, all of us. Then we'll talk, and after that, you gotta know you are also there. I'm not the only person that the universe can use to reach the rest of the world. You're also there, and there's something that you are, that I am, that must know that I am, that you will give me, and I mean you have an information that is going to upgrade this experience. Thank you very much and be blessed. Peace.